Over the last 10 years or so in gaming, things like Kickstarter have really started to establish itself as a means for smaller, independent developers to get the funding they need to make the games of their dreams. Whether it's a long-awaited sequel, a spiritual successor, or just a great idea, Kickstarter campaigns can take many different forms, which sometimes succeed, and sometimes not so much. The big thing here is people can make spiritual successors or genre-adjacent games easier than ever. I mean, look at Stardew Valley. Concerned Ape, this dude loves Harvest Moon. So he says, fuck it, I'm gonna make Harvest Moon. Which resulted in, I'd say, some moderate success. And it doesn't stop there. Undertale, Bloodstained, Shovel Knight, Divinity Original Sin are just some quick examples of games that use the inspiration from their predecessors and the dollars of some loyal fans to build phenomenal experiences. Now enter A Hat in Time, the Kickstarter 3D platformer that's pretty much the love child of Banjo-Kazooie and Super Mario Sunshine. So is A Hat in Time able to stick the landing like its other Kickstarter comrades have? Spoiler alert. Yeah, it does. The beauty of A Hat in Time is in its simplicity. The basic controls and straightforward levels are actually what make it a phenomenal game. All the platforming staples are there. You have a jump, a double jump, into a dive, a wall jump, and that's really pretty much it. This game shines because it incorporates these controls perfectly into each world that you're traversing. This allows for impressively flowing movement to get you around these silly ass worlds. A Hat in Time uses your tried and true 3D platformer formula. You have to run across various levels or worlds collecting timepieces until you get enough to unlock the next world. The thing that makes A Hat in Time incredible is each of these worlds are fucking stuffed with content. I don't think there's literally a wasted pixel in any of these worlds. Every single corner, ledge, gap, pathway, rope is leading somewhere. You're flying all over these worlds feeling like the best player in the world because all these paths lend themselves to a phenomenal flow of motion. And you wonder, wow, I think I may be the best player in the world. When I first started as this young baby boy in A Hat in Time, I took this path looking like a huge fucking dork. I mean, come on, dude, this is embarrassing. Fast forward like 5 hours, I'm hitting the little extra roll boost from the sprint into the double jump, grab the hook, double jump again, hit the little boost again, grab the hook, fly up, land in front of the telescope just so I can see how jealous you are of me. While this game doesn't really have formal progression, the progression is in your personal skills. And you want to improve these personal skills to get places faster and just be more fluid with your movement. Unfortunately, this flow can get a little interrupted sometimes. Random frame skips and funky cameras sometimes send your movement to a screeching halt. Luckily, these situations are pretty few and far between, so you're not going to run into them too often. On top of all this, you're grabbing a couple hats here and there that help you access previously inaccessible areas. This game does a great job of just giving you little breadcrumb secrets. Like, you see this platform, you have no idea how to get up there, so you just give up and move on. But then you find the hat that turns into an ice block, and you think, what? Oh shit. I'm the smartest player in the world. While the game lets you run around its worlds, it also gives you more focused challenges in the form of time rifts. These are areas where the game just sits back, hits you with some relaxing music, and just lets the pure, uninterrupted platforming take over. You get to flex your platforming skills as the game says, hey bud, over here. There's your objective. Just get from point A to point B. The gang over at Gears for Breakfast just get 3D platforms. It is so impressive how this team understands every bit and piece of how a 3D platformer can and should play. I honestly think A Hat in Time may have some of the most intuitive controls I've ever used in a game. They just let you play the video game and keep it simple. After all, the beauty of A Hat in Time is in its simplicity. Platformers are typically known for two things. Of course, the platforming and their incredible charm and personality. And there is no shortage of the latter in A Hat in Time. This game has a way of giving you the goofiest fucking smile from beginning to end. Whether it's the colorful worlds, the over-the-top character designs, or the on-point presentation, every frame has love and joy just poured into it. The minute you boot up the game, you're hit with this cute, bubbly, animated logo with all the characters just bouncing around like lunatics. Then you're greeted with Hat Girl just waving to your ass, and she's saying pretty much, so glad you're here, let's just sit down for at least an hour and have some fun. The cast of characters never let you down. Oh, and just the ridiculous character designs fit this game like a well-powdered latex glove. Like this girl has a mustache, and when you meet here, you're like, yep, this makes perfect sense in the context of this game. Every single character is a blast to be around and have me cackling at their absurdity from the opening to the credits rolling. And that's kind of the point, right? To give you these characters and moments that are just there to make you happy while playing their game. And the personality isn't just limited to the characters. I love how busy each world is. They all have so much going on, and the devs aren't afraid to mix and match your classic level genres. So instead of just having the beach level, it's also the lava level. And I guess the restaurant level. Then you have your time rifts, which have this theme of cookies and milk, because why the fuck not? I'll jump around these shrinking cookies all goddamn day and you can't stop me. On top of all this, they throw in these delightful little idle animations that Hat Girl does, depending on the tone of the level. Like you have this Metal Gear Solid James Bond looking level with spy music blasting. And what's my girl do? Hold up her hand like a little gun. This shit right here is how you made people fall in love with video games. The presentation and the moment-to-moment experiences in A Hat in Time have so much care put into them. I mean, each timepiece has a unique piece of art drawn for the loading screen that are all just as beautiful as the next. As a fan of 3D platformers, you'll immediately notice some familiarity in this game with how it presents itself. Selecting a level and it doing the quick little jingle and preview of where your destination is. Or when you find a timepiece and it makes that shimmering sound and a nice calm version of the theme. And this isn't a knock. In fact, it's a positive. A Hat in Time is never afraid to pay homage to the games that came before it. Instead, it embraces its roots and churns out one of the most lovable games in years. Dude, A Hat in Time is so smart with its music. It does so many things right that may go under the radar. This game is all about being a comfort food and making you feel nostalgic, all while throwing a completely new game at you. In the context of music, this is implemented in this game in such a clever way. The hub world theme. Right as you're going to the hub world, you're greeted with these familiar chimes and kind of kazoo sounding horns. You can't quite put your finger on why they're familiar, but it's just hard to shake. As you go through the hub world, the music slowly changes and transforms to fit your environment, like... Wait. What game does that again? Son of a bitch. This is the Grant Kirkhope Special, one of the best video game composers of all time. And instantly you're reminded and whisked away to the 90s playing Banjo-Kazooie, jumping from world to world. This is such a goddamn great move by the sound design team to basically open the first playable area with something instantly familiar, but not completely on the nose. Then when that's all said and done, our boy Pascal Michael Stiefel? Sorry. Pops in and says, "Look, Graham, I loved your work on Viva Pinata 2, Trouble in Paradise, but I think I can take it from here." And boy, does Pascal just take this OST and fucking run with it. The beauty of the soundtrack in this game is its sheer diversity, and an even more impressive feat is that despite its diversity, every song fits its setting great. I'm looking at you, Dead Bird Studio, you Metal Gear Solid sounding ass. Then these songs also have this fucking UFO space thing going on that fits the vibe of this game perfectly, especially in the main theme that just floored me right from the start. Very few main video game themes can just nail the vibe of the game in one song, and this song literally does that in 30 seconds. I mean, listen to this song. It's just so grand. The big horns, the strings, the happy whistles, and of course, those UFO sounds. But while the music can blast your face off, sometimes its best tracks come in the slow, lonely bits. Your time riffs are accompanied with these beautiful, relaxing songs with an incredible smattering of just ambient sounds like water bubbles, whale sounds, weird distant sirens. It's just so weird and bizarre, but like I said before, the music just fits. And this is actually a prime example of that. And I also have to give a quick shout out to Subcom 4's Time Rift theme. That's a lot of words. This song is just so fucking good. And how it slowly swells with each layer of the time rift just... God damn. Sure, every single song isn't memorable. Some have a habit of kind of blending together and sticking a little bit too close to the 3D platformer vibe. But at the end of the day, they never take you out of the game. And at its worst, the soundtrack is just a fun companion on your journey. So go ahead and take a bow, Pascal and company. You guys deserved every bit of it. A Hat in Time is a love letter to 3D platformer fans and just video game fans in general. This is a game built to put a smile on your face and just have fun from beginning to end. My biggest critique is honestly my time with it was just too short. 3D platforming vets can probably clear this game in about 10 hours. DLC not included. It's a weird situation that once things really start getting going, you've reached the end and you're just kind of like, shit. On the flip side, it means Gears for Breakfast never take any part of this game for granted and ensure you're always in the action. And you know what? Coming from a small studio that, like we said, got all their money through Kickstarter, I think we can let that slide. This is a game that takes inspiration from years of video games, but still maintains its incredibly unique identity. This is really the video game secret sauce. It's because of this you have this perpetual warm and fuzzy feeling. It's kind of like being reunited with a friend you haven't seen in a few years, but the minute you start talking, you realize you guys haven't missed a beat. So thanks, Hat in Time. That's why I give A Hat in Time 44 Mafias out of 17 badge sellers.